Know thyself. Two simple words, but two of the most potentially deep and meaningful, impactful words to stepping into your personal power, making more money, and building your dream life. So much so that those words were inscribed on the Temple of Apollo in the ancient Greek precinct of Delphi. Those two simple words are also the profound root and subject of the deepest philosophical works out there. Know thyself. Hi, I'm Tracy from the Money Boss Show, and I'm here to help you step into your personal power, make more money, and build the life of your dreams. That's what you're here for. Like this episode, subscribe, and buckle up because we are going to tap into the root of all meaning and all purpose and finding your unique gifts. So know thyself. I'm going to say, know thyself and prosper your path to riches. So why is knowing thyself so important? At the surface level, it might seem like incredibly silly, common sense advice. Know thyself. Of course, I know thyself. I know myself. I've lived with myself for 43 years now. Don't I know myself? But how many of us grew up in a cookie cutter world designed to put everybody in four couple of unique boxes? This box, that box, that box. Here's a life path. Here's what you need to do. Here's what happiness looks like. When I grew up, that's the world that I grew up in. And if we look at it today, there is more opportunity in this world right now with the internet at our fingertips. We now get the world at our fingertips. The average guy, the average gal now is on a level playing field with everybody out there. The internet is the greatest equalizer ever. In the past, if you wanted to be rich and successful, you pretty much had to come from money. You had to win the lottery, or you had to have the right friends in the right places. Now, you can start an internet business fairly cheap. There's so much opportunity out there, and you can become among the wealthiest out there. And even if your goal isn't millions and billions, which most of us, we don't care for that kind of wealth. Your goal might be to just make some money to pay off debt, make some money to replace your income, make some money to stay at home and raise babies, make money so that you don't have to report to somebody. Whatever your money goals are, the root of it starts with knowing thyself. And in the world that we live in, we were given a fairly cut and dry cookie cutter path to life and happiness. And if you look around social media, the news, wherever you live, if we're living in a time with the most abundance of wealth, health, happiness, how come that isn't reflecting out there? Well, because we were given fairly cut and dry paths to success. And that path is no longer working. The white picket dream, the American dream, the Canadian dream, wherever you live, go to school, get good marks, go to university, get a good job, get married, have 2.5 kids and a white picket fence. The math isn't mathing behind the middle class anymore. And if we look at stats, the middle class is shrinking towards poverty and the upper class is getting bigger. Why? Because their wealth and their money power is just growing, where the middle class, what we were taught to build a good life, the skills and knowledge and beliefs to build a good life, that ain't working anymore. And if the knowledge and the skills and the beliefs and the action that you have aren't matching the world that you live in, what happens? You start to slide downwards. And while I will never, ever poo-poo people with money, and everything out there because we are the Money Boss show. The truth is, the math ain't mathin' behind middle class and the working rat race anymore. It's not working. You used to be able to provide a good living off one wage, and then it became two wages, and then now two wages isn't keeping up to an average lifestyle. So here is the thing. So, Tracy, why does knowing thyself have to do with anything? Well, truly, I think we were given a cookie cutter path that doesn't work anymore. The dream we were sold ain't dreaming anymore. And here's the thing, we live in a time that doesn't match what we were taught, and they aren't teaching the new way to do it. If schools were actually keeping up and had our best financial interests in mind, they wouldn't teach us the curriculum that they did to begin with. You'd be taught a lot about money, but they would also be teaching us about internet and then business and the benefits of interest and the consequences of interest on debt, how to create a business proposal. So it's quite odd that we're still learning the same subjects from the early 1930s when the school system started in 2025. That's 100 years, just about 100 years. I think the knowledge we're being taught is outdated. And then just look around and you see it. Everybody is financially stressed, and we don't have the skills, the tool set, the knowledge to start creating the life of our dreams. So what do? The middle class is going further and further behind. They're getting angry. And then you look at media that's fueling race wars and everything. People are unhappy, and we're in the middle of a system that doesn't work, breaking down, but we don't know the answers here. The answers here are becoming a money boss. If you're tuning into this channel, it starts and ends with you, because the school system, the job system, the government system is not here to make you healthy, happy, and wealthy. It's here to keep you average, and even average ain't averaging anymore. So it starts and ends with you. And if you're going to walk out on a journey of creating your own wealth, knowing yourself is incredibly important. If you want to become a money boss, knowing your strengths and gifts, your challenges, your sabotages, your flow, knowing who you are and how you work and feel about money is key. So, the premise of today's episode is to know yourself and prosper, pardon me. And that is truly your path to riches. And the premise is we're living in a cookie cutter life that doesn't work anymore. And we really should be living in a choose your own adventure, also known as your hero's journey. This is what any successful entrepreneur that has made it has done. They've just said, this system isn't working for me. I don't want to be average. I want to be in charge of my destiny. So I'm nominating myself to learn about myself and about my money game and about business and about how the world works. And I'm going to be the master of my destiny. And that is what we're talking about today. So before I dive in and talk about the three core ideas I want to leave you with, I want to give you a quick heads up that I am getting set to launch my first program ever called Money Codes, decoding your money codes so that you can step into your personal power, make more money, and build your dream life. It is launching on June 2nd, and I have a special offer for anybody that is in on our list. If you go to the Money Boss Collective, you take the quiz, you'll get put onto our list, and you'll be first to be notified of a very special deal on the Money Codes program. The best pricing ever will be this first time that I launch it. So just so you know, if you take the quiz or if you're on the list, you'll be notified about that. But if you're interested in what we're talking about here today, we are diving in to your money genius in the Sacred Money Archetypes Money Code program. So here we go. I truly believe that we as individuals are uniquely and perfectly made how we are. And you're going, Tracy, that's baloney. So many of us were put into those boxes in school. And if you've ever looked around, look at all the people, unique personalities, unique expressions, singers singing how many different ways, painters painting different ways, different authors, different business people, different mums, different. Look at the beauty of the world. Well, it might be incredibly chaotic. And you might look at people and go, like, how are you even that way? The beauty is that we live in a time that we have the liberty, the essence, and the means to be an individual. And now more than ever, that is probably some of the boiling point when we look at the world. We used to be put into those cookie cutter boxes. School system, certain religions, certain universities, certain family structures, certain community events. But that seems in many areas to be dissolving a little bit, being tested, all those different things. And the age of Aquarius, the age of the individual is coming. Everybody is fighting for their voice, their uniqueness, their opinions, and it is chaotic. But the beauty of this chaos and what we're seeing is the rise of the individual within the collective. Everybody's saying that, wait a minute, I don't want to be an accountant. I don't want to be at a desk job. I am a brilliant painter. I want to paint. I have this life force within me that is just wanting to be expressed. That chaos is also creative chaos. And with all chaos comes creation, change, and development. But it's a bit of a chaotic time in humanity right now. And truly, I do believe that is each person. And most people don't even know it. They just feel this frustration. That is them wanting, you wanting to express what is on the inside, what you hold near and dear, your unique gifts, your unique baggage, your desire to follow in a path that you feel is correct, which is different. We've had decades and decades and decades of big structures telling us what to do. And then realizing that these big structures, like politicians and politics, they ain't really in it for the people. And now everybody is getting a collective unhappiness. But with that chaos, like I said, comes growth. And for the individual, the beauty within and bringing that home to you is you might be in a job that you hate where you're going, this is what I want to do. Something is put in you for a reason. And if that were not true, that we are all uniquely made as we are with divine gifts and baggage, why wouldn't we all be the same? Even I've said this before, if you have siblings, same parents, and sure, one's the oldest, one's the youngest, so parents change. But if you look at it, your siblings are very different than you are. Crazy, right? Same parents, same, roughly the same life. Maybe it's that our environment definitely formats us and conditions us, as I've talked about. But maybe we are each here with something unique. And not that it's something to be ignored, it's something that is designedly wired to express who we are and how we feel and our gifts that we've been given. So, what is the purpose of life? So many people say it's to build this. I truly believe the purpose, the whole journey of life isn't something grand like a result. I believe the purpose of life is the journey of life and the journey of uncovering your gifts and baggage. It's this funny visual I started getting years ago when I started realizing that this money content, this money desire I had would never go away. I built 2 media companies. I have successful businesses. And I just stuffed it down. I'm like, Tracy, you don't need this. You don't have time for this. Why are you sabotaging your companies? Just be happy. This money theme, this gift, this desire to teach and help people step into their personal power, make more money, and build their dream life has always been there in smaller amounts, in different ways. But the clue is always there. I always wanted to make money. But at each point, that grain of an idea showed up appropriate for where I was at that journey. Tracy, find out about money, learn about money. You're interested. You want to be financially self-sufficient. Get that way. Okay, we make a budget. And then I learn, I read, and I build a company. I spend 17 years building media companies, becoming a money boss myself, which was the critical step to finally being able to do this. Divinely planned? I think so. And it was me stepping into that and finally saying, okay, money content, okay, money YouTube channel in your head. Maybe it needs to be born. Maybe I can bring on one more media company on board and teach people the fire inside of me, wealth consciousness, so people can get lit on fire to become money bosses and build their dream life. So what is the purpose of life? Uncovering that gift. And what I was going to say before is I see a visual. Have you ever went to like the dollar store or Bargain General, whatever it is in the States, I can't remember, and seen these little treasure chests for jewelry? When I think of a person's divine gift, I picture this little leather treasure trunk with a little nice little hook that you open. And then inside, I see that on the inside of every individual. Here we are thinking that we're just people. So many people have been stuffed into these boxes that don't belong, reprimanded in school, made to feel stupid because we don't know or like the subjects at school, when that's not your brilliance. Your brilliance is over here. And they don't teach us that we have this little treasure trunk on the inside of us. Weird visual, but that's how we see it. And it's buried so deep under all this conditioning and all this clutter and muck. It's blocked from us. Because if we tap into our gift, it opens up flow. Flow attracts money. Flow attracts the great things of life. The great things of life attract money, personal power. If people stepped into their personal power and started making more money, that's a very dangerous thing. If you have a small amount of rich people in the world, that's limited power. But if everybody gets out of the rat race and they're living above and beyond their means, and they look up and go, what? The politicians are doing what? Why are there people still starving when this? If everybody was out of survival and had the time and enough money to take care of their means and above, it would be very dangerous to the structures of society, government, right? Because unfortunately, like it or not, money and personal power are linked. Get the two of them and you are a money boss, top notch. If you just have personal power but no money, you're powerful, you're rocking your game, you're doing big things, you're helping out. But if you don't have money, you're limited. Put the two of them together, you're a money boss and you are a force to be reckoned with. So the goal of life, what I've learned after 17 years of launching companies, and holy smokes, it's been a journey. I have become a money boss, so I can teach you to be a money boss. All the ups and downs, the blood, sweat, and tears, literally. The purpose of life is to realize you're not a mistake. You're not an accident. There is something unique in you. And it might be any number of things. It might be just the way you see things. It might be your words. It might be your caring. It might be you are unique, that you are not a mistake. Your job is to start going, okay, what do I like? And stepping forward to it, towards it. Like I said, remember that game when we were kids, the hot cold game? The closer you got to, I think it was the person hiding, it's hot. And then if you were far away, it's cold. I can't even remember the game, but that's what comes to mind. So when you do a job that you hate, it goes cold, and then you're like, okay, well, I don't want to be an accountant. I'm just going to move towards marketing. Hot, hot, hot. Ooh, I like marketing. Getting out there, marketing myself. Okay, hot, 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 hot. And then I start blogging and it's hot, hot, hot. It's like, wait a minute. I'm going to do a video. I like these YouTubers. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I love this. This lights me up. I think that's what the game is. And then as you step forward and listen to that calling, whatever's nagging at you, don't quit your job. Don't do anything silly. You step forward to that nagging that won't go away, starting a travel blog, hosting a group event, painting, dancing as an adult. It doesn't have to be monetized. You step towards and it's hot. And then you're starting to open that little treasure trunk. And guess what? Then you learn the next step that needs to be done, the next step, the next step. You're always guided forward and it becomes hot and you get the next clue. You never just go, I want to do this, and you get there. It's like a road trip. You say, let's say California, I'm in Manitoba, Canada. And California is the destination of where I want to be, a big business owner. I don't say that and I get there. You do so many steps. You drive all the way to California. You get a flat tire. It's like taking a road trip. That is the journey of life. And if you're going towards where you are meant to be, you're going to start to feel aligned. You're going to start to feel flow. And that is the same as money. Money is energy. And when you are doing what lights you up, what feels good, what is aligned with you, you start to brain up your vibration. When you brain up your vibration, you attract great things. We don't attract what we want. We attract what we are. So if you were in a miserable job, a miserable marriage, I'm not saying divorce or quit your job, use these words with caution. When you start walking in what feels good and showing up, we all have bad days, but when you start walking towards what excites you, you start to raise your vibration. You start to raise your vibration. It's like the answers start to show up, the clues, the books you need to read, the YouTube channels. You get your frequency raised up. And then if you start a business, you align, you learn. And it's just this like crazy, beautiful little journey of picking up breadcrumbs. Next one, and then you go out on the path. And then all of a sudden you started your social media accounts for your side hustle, and then dot, dot, dot. So money is the same way. And here's the thing, we're taught cookie cutter money. And money is pretty black and white. And that's the beautiful part. So many people are like, oh, money, I'm bad with money. Money is actually one of the easiest, simple, but not easy things in life. It's black and white. You have this much, you spend this much, you're at zero. You make more than you spend, you're starting to build savings. And then the opposite, you spend more than you make, you start getting debt. It's pretty black and white. But all of us just live in this confusion because we weren't really taught the skills and our mind is cluttered. And we're not really taught our unique money personalities. And that, for me, is step number one of becoming a money boss. In previous videos, I've introduced the Sacred Money Archetypes, an uncannily accurate system that gives 8 money archetypes. And each of these 8 archetypes have different strengths and gifts, challenges, sabotages, money destiny, traits, sacred money contract, and different ways to align with money. I'll share the different archetypes right now. There are 8 of them. The ruler, the accumulator, the maverick, the alchemist, the nurturer, the connector, the romantic, and the celebrity. And all of them, it is brilliant work. They all care about money at different levels. Some love it, some hate it, some are like, what's money? Others have a strong desire to save, while others will spend every penny and beyond. Different ones want to just build businesses. Other people want to take their money and care for people. Other people want to take their money and buy the fanciest things. Then the next person wants to take their money and provide the finest experiences for themselves and their friends. And that is the brilliance behind the Sacred Money Archetypes. And the work here that I'm focused on right now is, at the end of the day, starting a business, but not working on your money mindset and your beliefs and your money personality is okay. And you have two journeys. You have your personal development, your business, and part of that personal development journey is mastering your money. Because when you're building a business, that's very much a money journey. Your individual journey and your business journey are both money journeys along the same way. Money is a tool to help build your business. Money is a tool to help you build a life of meaning, of joy, of purpose, giving you the opportunity and the time to walk towards your destiny, right? Life and business are both money journeys. And no two people think about money, feel about money, desire money, and want money for the same reasons. And that is why I love the Sacred Money Archetypes. And I'm so excited that the first program I'm putting together is the Money Codes program. Because if we are building a strong house, becoming a money boss, you want to build your financial house on a strong foundation. We may have heard that before. Don't build a house on quicksand, on a sand base, because sand shifts. It's not solid. You build a house, a building on concrete. So to me, it's not a stop what you're doing and going, don't go to work or don't build a business. It's a money, personal, and work journey. But if you're building your financial house on a strong understanding of who you are when it comes to your money personality, your strengths, your weaknesses, your challenge, your sabotages, what is your money destiny? And how do you get aligned with money so that you can start making, saving, investing, and using money in a way that is aligned for who you are as an individual? And again, that is why I'm thrilled to be offering the first ever program that I'm doing with the Money Codes, Sacred Money Archetypes, and introducing it, because knowing who you are, know thyself and prosper. The base of that is your money personality and how you feel, how you think, act, believe, save, spend, earn, invest, desire money. That is the foundation of your house, because then when you know that, you can start to go, okay, let's budget. Let's learn how to earn. Maybe as a ruler, oh, money, I want to build an empire. I want to build an empire that helps others step into their gifts. The money boss. I'm a ruler. That's my primary money archetype. Maybe as an accumulator, I have a strong ability to save, which is beautiful. But the self-sabotage, you don't want to part with money. So therefore you don't invest. So you don't invest, you don't grow. There is a brilliance behind each of these archetypes. And I invite you, take the free quiz, go to themoneybosscollective.co, take the quiz, takes about 8 minutes, answer it honestly. Don't try and fudge the answers, because you are beautiful and perfect the way you are. And I think you've been given the gifts and baggage you've been given for a reason. And that's your treasure chest to uncover. So don't fudge the quiz, because you're going to get wrong results. Wrong results lead you on the wrong path. The wrong path means unhappiness. Answer it how it is. Learn your archetypes. You'll get a score for all 8. You want the top 3 and then mark them highest. 1, 2, 3. And those are the 3 you care about. For majority of the free information on the landing page for the Money Codes program, we work with the top 3 and mainly the top money archetype. And then we tap into your inner money genius, help you work on what you sabotage to set you up to be a money boss, to get into flow when it comes to your money, right? To step into your money genius and to step into the next era of unapologetic prosperity. That's what we want. And more than ever, it's available to you. But let's build a solid foundation. And whether you join us in the Money Codes program now or later, that's okay. You don't need to do that. That is there for those that want to go deeper and really step into their money genius. But if you do the quiz, you're going to get all your results. You're going to get scores. It's going to tell you how to rate them. If you have a tie, the landing page tells you that. And there's a lot of free information there. I give a free training on that page as well. So just listen to that and start to feel it and then learn about it and listen to the podcasts, the videos I've put out. I'll be including it more and more on the channel here. And then if you feel so inclined, the Money Codes program will be around whether you join us on the founding launch or not. That's okay. You are where you are at. It is perfect for you at this moment. No regrets, no shame, no guilt. That is the beauty of stepping in to your money power, becoming a money boss, and stepping into your next era of unapologetic prosperity. Because money is a beautiful thing and you can do big things, and you have a money genius within you. I will see you in the quiz. I'll see you in the next episode. And if you join us, I will see you in Money Codes. Thank you and see you next time. Bye-bye.